I had hip surgery like in my mid-20s. Went to like a really good surgeon in Manhattan, and he was like, charming, handsome, whatever, like all those things. And it just didn't fix my problem, right? Like I had been in so much pain that I couldn't go downstairs, like, and I couldn't sit in meetings, and like I had the surgery. I was able to go downstairs, but I still couldn't sit in meetings. Like I went to sleep in pain, I woke up in pain, like I couldn't walk more than a mile without being in pain, and like I was like a relatively fit, like 26-year-old or whatever. I went back to the surgeon, like he said there's like I can do. I got a couple cortisone shots, that didn't help. I think I went to like 2 or 3 physical therapists. I went to acupuncture, I did like some other thing I forget the name of, and like nothing helped. Like I would live on a foam roller, like I feared, I couldn't take long drives, I couldn't take like international flights, like it just like completely was ruining my life, and I was just constantly uncomfortable. We moved up to Boston in 2018, and like this had been at this point 3 or 4 years of constant physical therapy, just like on the freaking treadmill, just like doing the same things over and over and over again. Nothing worked. Came out to Boston, got the names of a couple of really good surgeons in Boston. One of them said like, I don't know, like not really sure I can help you. And the other surgeon actually said like, oh yeah, like I can operate on you again. Like I'll give you a second surgery, like this one will fix you. Like I know what the other guy didn't do right. And I was like really about to do this other surgery because I was like so desperate for a solution. When my PCP here referred me to Mike, this was in 2018. When I called Mike the first time, he was pretty direct. I was like, why the heck should I even bother coming to see you, right? Like, I've been to 3 or 4 physical therapists, all of them really well regarded, and no one's been able to help me, and like, why should I even try you? Mike was kind and clear on the phone. He's like, listen, like I have a pretty different approach, just give me a try. So I came in, and within about like 4 or 5 minutes, it was very clear that Mike was different. He did things I had never encountered before, and there was this one moment at the end of the first hour I spent with him, where like I had been in like, it was pretty debilitating discomfort for years, and Mike did something really, really simple. He had me elevate my heels, and he had me squat. And it was the first time I'd squatted with no pain in half a decade, and I was like, I'm hooked. I'm in. I came and I said I'll be back on Thursday, and I was. And so I went to Mike 2 or 3 times a week for a year or 2. But the truth is that after about a month, the thing that I came for, which was my hip, it was just solved. It was very clear that whatever Mike was doing, his bag of tricks was just working. It was different. He understood like the biomechanics of my body. He had a different approach to the way that I moved that I had never seen before in almost a decade in the orthopedic system, so to speak. And so I was just hooked. And so I went to Mike for about 2 years, uninterrupted, got out of pain, and then very quickly shifted from just pain management to like fundamentally fixing the underlying patterns. And like now I just feel empowered, where like I remember like I would be in a meeting or on a flight or whatever it was, and like I would feel this tinge of pain. I'd just be like scared because I knew I would have like multiple days of discomfort ahead of me. And now like it doesn't happen anymore, but 2 or 3 years ago, back when earlier in my relationship with Mike, I would just know like if I feel this, I just do this exercise, I like shift this way, and just like boom. It was like magic, it would just disappear. That was just like an unbelievable change to my quality of life. Like I could sleep better, I could go for walks, I could go for runs, I could like chase my children around, I could drive to New York, like I could fly internationally, like whatever I needed to do, I was able to do. At a certain point, we shifted out of physical therapy and started to get to just like improving my overall health, and a big part of that was weightlifting and strength training. Before my hip started to hurt, I was running, I was like, training and stuff like that in college, but I had gotten away from it because I was just uncomfortable all the time. Mike taught me how to live safely. I started to like really develop a routine. When COVID struck, like I wasn't able to see Mike in person. I started, seeing him digitally just because I needed that. I needed that in my life to like, feel well and be okay. My friends and family kind of make fun of me because I'm so obsessed with Everton's. But I'm such a believer in what Mike is building here, and what Connor and Garrett and Cam are working on here. I've sent my dad, my mom, my grandfather, my brother, my other brother, my wife, and my sister-in-law, at least 2 friends and 3 people I do business with to Divergence, and every single one of them come back with just like, whoa, this is different. All different ages, different abilities, different fitness levels, and the truth is that what these guys do here is just different. It's better, it works, and it just shows results. Eventually, when Connor joined, I started to see Connor. I had been working with Mike for a long time. Mike was like, Connor's the man. I was like, let's go. And I've worked with, over the last, 15, 20 years or something, a lot of different, trainers, physical therapists, whatever. Connor, without a question, has pushed me harder and more safely than anyone I've ever worked with. I've gotten stronger, healthier, more confident in myself, just like overall I'm just happier working with him 3 times a week. Basically on a monthly basis, I set PRs, on a variety of different exercises. Like in honestly, it continues to blow my mind remembering where I was when I started on this journey with Divergence and Mike and Connor to now, right? Like I had pretty intense hip pain, and now, last week Connor said, yeah, you could probably deadlift 400 pounds, and so that's the plan next week. Like it's just staggering for me to see how far I've come, and Connor has pushed me in a way that I didn't think I was capable of, and like getting mentally tougher, mentally stronger, and physically stronger, all while maintaining super safe patterns based on my own personal biomechanical quirks. It is just unbelievable to come with a question on a given day and be like, hey, I found, my right shoulder was bothering me because the way I was, and it's just like small little adjustments that Connor's able to give where it's just like, boom, you just feel better.